Hello everyone. Thank you everyone for the continued support. I appreciate you all, especially those who have subscribed to the channel. I never take you for granted. Thank you so much. Anyone watching this and has not yet subscribed to the channel, please, I am asking you to support me by subscribing to the channel. Much appreciation. Today we are revisiting Nigeria. There has been some negative energy bouncing between the Vice President of Nigeria Kashim Shettima and Kemi Badenoch. Kemi Badenoch's comments about Nigeria have certainly stirred up a lot of emotions. Kemi has been vocal about her experiences growing up in Nigeria, often highlighting issues like corruption and insecurity, unemployment, non-diversification of the economy, income inequality, laziness, and poor education system, and how the severely underpaid police stole her brother's shoes.
Who founded Facebook? The co-founder of Facebook was Eduardo Luis Saberin, born in Sao Paulo, Brazil, of Jewish Brazilian ancestry. Elon Musk, the richest man in the world, was a migrant from South Africa. He owns SpaceX and now X, formerly Twitter. I can name names. Sergey Brin, the co-founder of Google, is worth over $30 billion. He's of Russian background. Rupert Murdoch, the chief executive of News Corp, is of Australian descent. Madeleine Albright, who became the United States Secretary of State, was of Czech origin. Steve Chen, the co-founder of YouTube, is originally from Taiwan. Immigrants build nations and immigrants build civilizations. One of the men in the front seat here has a thriving business in Namibia. He lived in Australia for over a decade, adding value to the Australian economy. Hence, there is a need for us to respect and cherish immigrants. Migrants are the source of life in all societies. Rishi Sunak, the former British Prime Minister, is originally from India. A very brilliant young man. He never denigrated his nation of ancestry, nor poured venoms on India. Kemi Badenoch, the leader of the British Labour or Conservative Party. We are proud of her, in spite of her efforts at denigrating her nation of origin. She is entitled to her own opinions. She has even every right to remove the Kemi from her name. But that does not underscore the fact that the greatest black nation on earth is the nation called Nigeria. 1 out of every 3 black men is a Nigerian. And by 2050, Nigeria will surpass the United States, will be the 3rd most populous nation on earth. 1 out of every 3 black men will be a Nigerian.
Kemi Badenoch's comments about Nigeria have certainly stirred up a lot of emotions. Kemi has been vocal about her experiences growing up in Nigeria, often highlighting issues like corruption and insecurity, unemployment, non-diversification of the economy, income inequality, laziness, and poor education system, and how the severely underpaid police stole her brother's shoes. This is painfully more than embarrassment. Kashim Shettima's criticism seems to stem from a sense of national pride and a desire to see Nigeria portrayed in a positive light. Maybe he should root out corruption first. Nigerian politicians should concentrate on reducing poverty in their country, Nigeria. When you see the poverty and corruption in Nigeria, it minds boggles. And I wonder why all the Nigerians have not run away from that extreme poverty. Nigerian politicians should be focusing on alleviating poverty, and this is a very valid point. Despite numerous poverty alleviation programs, the impact has always been limited due to factors like corruption and mismanagement. It is crucial for leaders to address these systemic issues to improve the lives of their nationals, instead of wasting time addressing Kemi. Kemi Badenoch is a British national, and nothing coming from Nigeria is going to stop or change that fact. She has escaped corruption or being corrupted. It is possible that some of the criticism could be influenced by personal or political motivations. However, it is also important to consider the genuine concerns about national image and pride that might be driving these reactions. Let us proceed. It is absolutely laughable when Kashim Shettima proudly says, "Nigeria is the best country in the world." What a shocker. According to the World Bank, 98 million Nigerians are living in dire poverty. I would be totally ashamed if I was a Nigerian politician leading a country deep into corruption and poverty. Politicians live in mansions, while the Nigerians are starving and having gari for supper. The Nigerian president is purchasing a jet for good measure. The international charities come in now and then to try and relieve people from the brink of starvation. It is so sad. All African countries should learn a thing or two from China. 40 years ago, China was so poor. Of current, China is working hard to get all its citizens out of poverty. China's rapid economic transformation over the past few decades is often cited as a model for other developing nations. The key factors in China's success include economic reforms, opening up to foreign investment and trade, infrastructure development, massive investments in transportation, energy and telecommunication, education and innovation, emphasis on education and technological advancement, government policies, strong centralized policies that promoted industrialization and urbanization. Corruption is a criminal offense in China. Anyone engaged in corruption is jailed indefinitely. For Nigeria, focusing on similar areas could indeed help. However, it is crucial to adapt these strategies to Nigeria's unique context, addressing issues like corruption and nepotism, political instability, and social inequality. Collaboration among the elite and politicians, along with international support, could pave the way for significant progress. Corruption siphons off resources that could be used for development, while nepotism undermines meritocracy and fairness. By addressing these issues, Nigeria could unlock its full potential and ensure that resources are used effectively to benefit all citizens. Just imagine a Nigeria where public funds are transparently managed and positions are filled based on merit rather than connections. This would not only boost economic growth but also restore public trust in institutions. Just coming back to Kemi. Kemi Badenoch is a straight talker and stands by her comments about Nigeria. I like the fact that she is pretty much calling out on how corruption and mismanagement of the country is out of control. When it comes to corruption, Nigerian politicians are on top of the African League. A Nigerian colleague despairs about the poverty and corruption in Nigeria. He said, "It is impossible to progress in Nigeria unless you have someone in the higher class that can lift you up to the higher ranks." He goes on to say, "My siblings are scattered around the world because we had to escape poverty in Nigeria. I have siblings in Australia, UK, Canada, and the United States, and some of his relatives are still struggling in Nigeria." Now that sums it all as to why Nigerians are all over the world. In Africa, when you do not have anything to offer, in most cases money, you will quickly learn that no one is interested in you. This is a fact. However, the moment you rise to better status, you suddenly become a child of the family, a child of the nation, and everyone will want to associate with you for good measure. They will be flocking on you and expressing how much they love you. This is exactly what the Nigerian politicians expected of Kemi. Kemi would have been the door for Nigerian politicians. Kemi would have been the middleman in all political and business relationship between England and Nigeria. I am sure that most people do agree with Kemi's response to the Nigerian politicians. You do your thing in Nigeria, and let Kemi concentrate on path to leadership in England and Wales. Kemi Badenoch tells the truth straight up. She tells it like it is. She is not going to couch words. It is not even clear which statements the Nigerian deputy president was responding to. The bottom line is Nigeria needs to sort out its problems first. Remember how Trump stirred controversy 4 years ago, trashed Nigeria, and some African states and banned Nigerians from traveling to the US. Shocking and shameful. But yeah, Nigerians love Trump for simply doing that. Nigeria is a country where you have to carry photocopies of your official identification at all times and safely store passports, visa, and travel documents. There is a high level of crime throughout Nigeria, including armed robbery, kidnapping for ransom, home invasions, carjacking, and violent assault. Robberies and muggings conducted by large, well-armed groups, in places frequented by expatriates, are common. Some have been committed by persons posing as police or military personnel, particularly in the Niger Delta. Criminal activity is high in urban areas, including the city of Lagos, as well as on the northern border with Niger and Chad. There has been an increase in violent crime in the outer suburbs of Abuja and the Federal Capital Territory since mid-2022. This is a country where you have to be on your guard at all times. You have to ensure that your belongings, including your passport and other travel documents, are secure at all times. Avoid walking alone and displaying any signs of affluence in public. Avoid unnecessary travel after dark. When crime increases, do not leave valuables or bags unattended. Always use caution when traveling to and from banks. One has to be discreet when using ATMs, as criminals could follow you to rob you. Always be wary of tourist excursions. Some of them apparently will take you for a longer ride to sunset. Now you tell me, who can blame Kemi and the rest of other successful Nigerians for jumping the boat? A lot of people would and will do the same in search of a respectful life and decent everyday living without worrying about criminals. I wish Kemi Badenoch all the best. I thank her for speaking pure truth. I praise her for speaking up, without realizing she has spoken for the ordinary everyday Nigerian on the street. I applaud her for that. I wish Nigerians all the best in their search for a better leader and a better tomorrow.